Hello and welcome back to FrogClan. Last episode we were going through a lot between losing some of our old faces but also gaining some new ones, especially in the forms of kits. We're just going to go ahead and dive right into this episode. I just want to do a quick review of StarClan here. We have Lightseeker and Thrushstripe who both joined StarClan last episode. Lightseeker passed away from water in her lungs, and Thrushstripe because he drowned directly in a flood. And as far as new additions, we have Shorefleck, who is formerly a kitty pet and is a perfectly normal cat, Tumble Kit, Carnation Kit, and Sea Bass Kit. Tumble Kit and Carnation Kit are the kits of Drizzle Shade and Driftburn, and Sea Bass Kit is just a little bit younger and is from Soft Apple and another cat. She is half clan. But we're just gonna dive right into it by time skipping. Let's start from the beginning here. So Wisteria Berry had a litter of 6 kits with Brookfruit. Wisteria Berry and Brookfruit are mates. Wisteria Berry use a surrogate, so I'll be rolling for the surrogate, as well as for each of their 6 kits. Wow, that's a lot of kits. So unfortunately Low Shade has gotten a heat stroke and now the clan is at risk because we don't have enough healthy medicine cats. Driftburn has moved on from the grief of losing Thrushstripe. They'll learn to live with it. Sea Bass's kit heat exhaustion has fortunately gone away, but Carnation Kit has a little bit of a stomach ache. Okay, let's take a look at these kits. Oh my gosh, look at them all. Half our clan is kits. Over half of our clan is kits. Oh my gosh. We really needed that though. Okay. So this is Sea Bass Kit. This is the first time we're actually seeing her eyes. She is gorgeous. Then we have Pale Kit, who's a daydreamer. Sardine Kit, who's an attention seeker. Bloom Kit, who is bossy. Snip Kit, who is insecure. Hawk Kit, who is daring. Saffron Kit, who is sweet. Oh boy. Okay, first and foremost, we are rolling to see what their mother was like. I am not making this up. So I think I mentioned earlier that the way I'm rolling for this is that on a D6, 1 to 4 is normal cat, 5 I said is 1 mutation, 6 I said is multiple mutations. I rolled a 6. This is hopefully the best possible outcome. The other cats can have negative traits, so she could just have multiple negative traits and this could be awful. I'm gonna roll a d4 to see how many additional mutations their mother has from 1. So I rolled a 2, so their mother has 3 mutations. Let me roll to see what those mutations are. Okay. I want to know where we found the surrogate because she had a seal nose, so her nose can seal up like a seal. She has a small body and a sinker tail. So her tail is concealing a little bit of a scorpion sinker in it. I can see how from a glance she could be considered a pretty normal cat, so she can probably kind of get away with it, but dig a little bit deeper and she had quite some interesting traits. Wisteria Berry, who is functioning as the parent here, has adaptable vision. So we don't have any overlapping traits, but the kits are going to have a 50-50 shot on whether they'll have a seal nose, small body, sinker tail, and adaptable vision, not to mention if they happen to roll for any extra mutations. So guess I'll just start rolling here. Okay, I am finally done rolling, and let's see what our kits look like here. So Pale Kit, who is a male, pale blue eyes. Ended up inheriting the seal nose and the sinker tail from his mother. Sardine Kit inherited the adaptable vision, as well as a small body and a sinker tail from her mother, and the adaptable vision from Wisteria Berry. Bloom Kit inherited the seal nose and the sinker tail from his mother. Snip Kit inherited all of her mother's traits, so seal nose, small body, and sinker tail. Hawk Kit inherited a small body and a sinker tail. And Saffron Kit rolled the worst. She's just a normal cat. So, the only role that didn't work out when it comes to adaptable vision thought is that Sardine Kit, who has pale green eyes, got the adaptable vision, while Bloom Kit, who has the emerald eyes, did not. It's still on a cat with green eyes, but Bloom Kit just didn't manage to make the role for adaptable vision. Actually, very few of the kittens did. Yeah, it's literally just Sardine Kit that got that, which is really fine. We just need to have as many traits as we can in the clan. But I cannot believe that influx of kittens. Like I said, we're really gonna need it. Jumpstar is a bit cross with Temple Kit. Speaking of kittens, Temple Kit is the one that keeps knocking everybody over. Temple Kit knocked over Sardine Kit. Temple Kit is just mean. Dristle Shade wonders how Lotus Shade is doing. Lotus Shade is sick right now with a heat stroke. Brookfruit wishes to break up a sickeningly lovey-dovey couple, so I guess we're gonna sabotage somebody. And I don't know who's more lovey-dovey than these two, so let's sabotage them. Comfort decrease, platonic like decrease, respect decrease, dislike increase, and jealousy increased. I don't know how much effect that's really gonna have on these two, but we'll see. Soft Apple is pretending to be a big evil warrior for Temple Kit. Soft Apple, again with his strict personality and muscular body, probably makes a great villain for the cats. So I sent Jumpstar out alone since we need to have as many border patrols as possible, like I said before. She comes across a FrogClan apprentice on the wrong side of the border with a mouthful of prey. They see the younger cat off with a furious yell, claiming the prey for FrogClan. Impressed by the catch but not by the antics, Jumpstar feels begrudging respect for FrogClan. And they return home to report this to Drizzle Shade as well. And surprisingly, relationships have improved with FrogClan from this. So Lotus Shade has recovered from heat stroke, and Carnation Kit's stomach ache has left. Their stomach is left. They no longer have a stomach. That would be quite the mutation indeed. Driftburn is watching with pride as Simplepaw is named and given to Shorefleck to apprentice under. They know that Shorefleck was a good choice. Even though they are excited to finally be made an apprentice, it takes a bit of coaxing for Driftburn for Carnation Kit to set forward for their ceremony. Driftburn watches in pride their name Carnation Paw and touch noses with Driftburn. I actually am going to change this, I think. Ooh, look how pretty he turned out to be. Carnation Paw now was showing an interest in herbs and the medicine cat's duties, so since we're probably going to need more than one medicine cat in the near future, I do think I'm going to change him over to medicine cat apprentice under Lotus Shade. I think Lotus Shade, with her compassionate nature, will make a great mentor for him, and I think he will do very well as a wise apprentice. Let's take a quick look at Templepaw too. She grew up from bullying to be lonesome, and she is under Shorefleck, who is careful but an excellent speaker. So I do think that'll be a good combination. Shorefleck, I think, is going to really show Templepaw, not Temple Kit, some of the benefits of being compassionate and of being more respectful of the other cat's wants. Pale Kit is so cute with his little patches. Sardine Kid is asking older cats how kids are born. Bloom Kit is scared after having a nightmare. I love his little two-color pelt. Snick Kit wants to take a nap. Pocket really darkened a little bit. He went from kind of a pale yellow to much darker orange and white. And Saffron Kit. Wow. Saffron Kit may not have any mutations, but she is gonna be beautiful when she is older. And she's starting to grow fond of her brother, so I suppose some of the sibling rivalry has been set aside. Okay, Brookfruit is wondering if they should sabotage a relationship that's going a bit too well, and I know exactly who they mean. I'm gonna cry if they can't have kids because Brookfruit is being petty, but it is what it is there. I just can't believe the number of kids that we have. Let's see, actually. We have 17 living cats, and of those, 7 of them are kits right now. And 2 of them are apprentices. I am just going to send the medicine cats out together, just to get Carnation Paw some better experience that way. With Leafall washing the world in rich, warm tones, Lotus Shade feels the need to gather as many elderlies as possible before the season turns and Clan must survive without new stock. There's a tree and a dip along a stream they want to check on today, and they bring Carnation Paw to teach why harvesting for a sheltered plant can be helpful. Elderlies being used to soothe sprains, and elderlies having to be gathered in a way that risks sprains, is truly one of StarClan's little ironies Lotus Shade reflects. Carnation Paw is more occupied climbing the tree, and Lotus Shade isn't going to dissuade their pride in plucking from the highest branches, even if they are no more potent than those at the bottom. I imagine Carnation Paw, with her extremely adaptable vision, feels that they are well suited for, taking some of the more keen-eyed duties. But Lotus Shade, who's older, more experienced, and has the benefit of her prehensile tail, acknowledges that, there's not always something better than what's right in front of them. But she can probably be on standby to help out if Carnation Paw were to find himself in trouble. So Shorefleck takes Tumblepaw out training to help get her some experience. And no matter how patiently Shorefleck tries to teach Tumblepaw how to firmly but gently gather and shred the moss, they don't seem to be paying any attention. Shorefleck is frustrated and returns to report to Jumpstar. If we were playing a different clan, I think this clan would have Tumblepaw becoming a villain. I'm gonna proceed. I just don't want to. I'd rather risk worsening relationships and risk losing a cat later. Soft Apple pounces with no hesitation, but they find themselves face to face with a French clan cat. After a short tussle, Soft Apple flees back over the board and limps their way home. That rabbit was not worth the trouble, and Soft Apple has a torn pelt. Oh no. Okay. While Soft Apple heals from their pelt being torn, Shorefleck slips on some rocks and their leg becomes dislocated. But Pale Kit has gotten green cough, and I'm really concerned because Leafall, green cough, and a kit is a scary, scary combination. We'll just go straight through here real quick. If you hear cats in the background, Sinbad's trying to bat at River's face right now. River is not very amused by that. Okay. Let's see. Lightseeker wishes she could speak to old friends, and Thrushripe is hoping he will be remembered. Oh, poor little Pale Kit. I feel so bad for him. He thinks that he's the leader of his own clan. Tumblepaw is shredding their apprentice duties. After what happened last time, I'm sure she got a little bit in trouble for that, and was probably on more mouse gathering duty as punishment. Seabass Kit is almost at her apprentice ceremony time, though. Shorefleck is rethinking her life choices, which is appropriate for her dislocated joint. She's probably just wondering how she found herself in that position. And Wisteria Berry is eavesdropping on Brookfruit. I wonder if Wisteria Berry is wondering if his mate is going forward with the best intentions. Since Shorefleck is unavailable, I think her mate Softapple will take over watching over Templepaw for now. They practice hunting, and their confidence grows. Softapple praises Templepaw for how quickly she seems to pick it up, and she returns to camp fluffed up with pride, which is really good. Those two needed to have a win. So we managed to smooth over some of our poor relationships with FrogClan. So Jumpstar is patrolling the border alone. She finds a small dog and hisses at it, warning it off. It skitters back, yapping loudly, but headed in the right direction. Maybe she should add dog herding to her list of accomplishments. So, it's Leaf Bear now. Brookfruit travels to FrogClan to resolve some recent border disputes. However, Brookfruit seems to have only made it worse. I would not be surprised if that was entirely intentional there. River, are you good? Seabass Paw has reached the age of 6 moons and has been made an apprentice. And sadly, Pale Kit does pass a green cough. Wisteria Berry feels as though they're living through a nightmare. Their kit can't really be dead. Wisteria Berry wonders if they're lucky, Pale Kit might visit them from a vision from StarClan. Pale Kit has taken their place in StarClan. FrogClan mourns their loss and shares stories. I'm really sad about that. I was really wanting to see Pale Kit grown up. Poor Wisteria Berry. And Pale Kit, our little daydreamer, is surprised to find himself among the stars. Thrushstripe is walking in the dreams of Lotus Shade, possibly trying to warn her of danger to come. But this is Seabass Paw. She bats at a beetle that has wandered into camp, and she is bold. And I think I'm actually going to change her mentor to be under Jumpstar directly. Jumpstar is thoughtful and an excellent speaker, and something tells me that those are traits that Seabass Paw could really benefit from. Brookfruit wonders if StarClan has given Lotus Shade any prophecies lately. Lotus Shade, on the other hand, woke up on the wrong side of the nest. She's a little bit irritated from whatever dream Thrushstripe seems to send her. Templepaw is starting to get over her little villain arc and has brought back some feathers for the kids to play with. The rest of the kids seem to be doing okay, but poor Wisteria Berry is not only watching over the kids in the nursery, but is also grief-stricken at the loss of one of his kids. I feel so bad for Pale Kit. Okay, so the warriors are out the apprentices. We know it's Raccoon Clan ahead. And Jumpstar is quick to break the tension, and we leave with better relationships. Okay, so Drizzle Shade is leading this. Drizzle Shade does have a pass for this year, but we track a large dog to the edge of the clan's territory. I'm going to go ahead and use the pass. We're almost at the 2nd year mark anyway. And we managed to avoid the dog. I just think that is much better, especially if it hasn't crossed into our territory here. So, at 22 moons, Templepaw tries to convince Bloom Kit to run away with them. I wonder if Templepaw is just finding FrogClan to be a bit too oppressive for her tendencies. Wisteria Berry has recovered. Seabass Paw has gotten a stomachache. Shorefleck's joint is popped back and feels much better. Sardine Kit is playing on the ice over tide pool, slipping and sliding when they slip a little bit too much and take a tumble. Luckily not into water from the sounds of it though. And we find that lungwort has gone bad in our stores. Rumors also reach us that that loner that we met a long time ago, Claw, has died recently. Looks like she was scouting out locations for a new den. I did roll for her when we met her. She is a normal cat. but I think that FrogClan would still mourn loss of any cat. There's no longer a cat we don't know about, or that's unknown to us in the neutral area. But that is where Claw has ended up, walking unknown skies. So Jumpstar is making a solemn vow to protect her clanmates from whatever danger is to come. Lotus Shade thinks that they're going crazy. I wonder if that dream was really taking its toll on her. Carnation Paw is giving somber advice to a fellow apprentice, probably Templepaw, his sister, just trying to get her on a better track. Brookfruit is eavesdropping on the conversation, and you're going to do something productive, please. Excellent. We're really high feelings, and we're almost completely back from the damage done. Driftburn pretends to be captured warrior for Hawk Kit's games. Wisteria Berry is hoping that his kits aren't getting into too much trouble. He's still grieving, but it seems that he can work. Templepaw is in awe of Carnation Paw's growth as a medicine cat apprentice, which does reinforce me that he was the one advising her. She probably thinks that he is very wise and very otherworldly as a medicine cat, with the guidance of StarClan behind him. Seabass Paw is shredding their apprentice duties. Oh, Sardine Kid is whimpering in her sleep. Oh no, Saffron Kid is wondering if Pale Kit would have been their friend. Aww. I'd like to think they would be friends. As Lotus Shade is explaining why and where the herbs are growing, Carnation Paw lets out a shout and bolts ahead. To Lotus Shade's surprise, they have found a previously unknown patch of an uncommon herb. Stunned but filled with pride that they found and recognized the herb, Lotus Shade promises them the first pick of fresh kill as soon as they return to camp. We gather mallow and catmint, which is very needed right now. Seabass Paw and Jumpstar are out training together, and Seabass Paw is not acting like her usual self. Jumpstar gently asks them what's wrong, and Seabass Paw breaks down, crying that they're not doing good enough even though they're really trying. Jumpstar pulls them into a hug, purring softly. They tell Seabass Paw a story of their own apprentice days and how they also made a lot of mistakes. Seabass Paw looks up disbelieving. Jumpstar chuckles at the look on their face and promises them that nobody but themselves remember those mistakes. Seabass Paw is also probably just feeling a little self-conscious since she's a normal cat in this clan of extraordinary cats, and probably feels that her place isn't earned. And Jumpstar also probably reassures her that a lot of the cats feel that way, and she doesn't have to have any special traits to have a place in FrogClan. So, there are dark clouds on the horizon. Drizzleshade wonders if they should continue. Drizzleshade is the patrol leader, and we've already used our pass, so I'm scared we have to go. Okay, it stays gray up there, but the rain never comes. So, Wisteria Berry and Soft Apple are patrolling the border when we find a BogClan scent. We follow a scent to a cat taking refuge up a tree. The cat yells a warning and our patrol scatters when they hear the cry. Just in time, too, as a large dog jumps at the patrol, catching Wisteria Berry, but thankfully only injuring them before Wisteria Berry tears himself free and sprints away. Wisteria Berry got a torn pelt, but that could have been much worse. So, moving into 23 moons here. Wisteria Berry grooms her pelt, happy to find their wounds from the dog gone. Seabass Paw no longer has a stomach ache. Sardine Kit is no longer scraped up, but immediately makes the same same mistake, sliding over the ice-tight pools and taking a tumble. Sardine Kit is going to be very rambunctious when they are older. Carnation Paw, that's mean. He makes fun of Bloomkit for not being an apprentice yet. Okay, so I attempted to mediate Soft Apple and Chorfleck. It did fail, so platonic like decrease, trust decrease, respect decrease, dislike increase, and jealousy increase, which isn't what we were hoping for there. Tumblepaw is acting angsty, which isn't very surprising given Tumblepaw's history. Saffron Kid is pretending to be a medicine cat, so maybe she also has an interest in herbs. Lotus Shade heads out onto the territory with Carnation Paw, both to stock up on cobwebs and to teach the apprentice how to gather one of the clan's most vital medical tools. Lotus Shade takes Carnation Paw to a few of their favorite places to gather cobwebs. When they get back to camp, they end up startling several cats on their way back to their den. Lotus Shade and Carnation Paw are practically walking cobwebs, impossible to see beneath the sheer mass they have gathered. Okay, so we're at 23 moons, and Jumpstart and Seabass Paw come across the Thunder Path. I'm not going to risk crossing. We're very close to the end of the year, and it's just not worth that risk. I don't know why we keep getting this prompt. Okay, so there's more dark clouds. Soft Apple is patrol leader. Unfortunately, we haven't reset yet. We've already used our pass for this, so we have to proceed. And luckily, the rain never comes. So we're into New Leaf now. Brookfruit travels to Ogclan to resolve some recent hunting disputes, but no progress was made. Sardine Kit heals just in time. Carnation Paw was climbing a tree when they fell, but luckily they were only bruised by the incident. Carnation Paw probably just had a little bit too much confidence seeing their mentor do it, where they don't have the natural abilities that Lotus Shade does. Sardine Kit is no longer scraped up, which is just in time for some ceremonies. Driftburn does wish to join the elders. The clan honors him and all the service that Driftburn has given to them. Driftburn is 115 moons old, so he's a little bit on the younger side for an elder, but just given some of the things he's gone through, that probably isn't the strangest thing. And sure enough, almost immediately after Sardine Paw touches noses with Drizzle Shade, they start asking when they can go out and explore the territory. Sardine Paw is going to be quite the pawful. Bloom Paw has reached the age of 6 moons and has been made an apprentice with Soft Apple as her mentor. Snip Paw has reached the age of 6 moons and has been made apprentice with Wisteria Berry as her mentor. Hawk Paw excitedly touches noses with their new mentor Shorefleck, looking quite eager to start training. And Saffron Paw touches noses with their new mentor Drizzle Shade. So we're going to have to be doubling up on cats, it looks like, but let's see what everybody's looking like. Sardine Paw turned out to be shameless and is a bit cross with their brother Bloom Paw, who is making note of Seabass Paw's journey as an apprentice. Snip Paw wonders how Lotus Shade is doing. Hawk Paw is happy that they're going to train with Seabass Paw. And Saffron Paw is feeling proud of the progress that they've made. Just reassess the apprentices here and see if their mentors make sense for them. Okay, so I just reassessed the apprentices. I put Sardine Paw with Soft Apple. I feel like the shameless and strict personalities will balance each other out a bit more. Strict tends to lead to more abrasive cats, and I kind of want to minimize the number of abrasive cats we have. Bloom Paw, who is wise, I put with Jumpstart, who is thoughtful. I think that's going to be a good combination. Snip Paw, who is careful, I kept with Wisteria Berry, who is strange. We definitely just need to not have cats with multiple apprentices, and I think Wisteria Berry would want to mentor one of his kits. Hawkpaw, who is daring, I put with Drizzle Shade, who is loyal. I think that's just a little bit of a better combo than a careful one, which is what Shorefleck was. And Saffron Paw, who is loving, I kept with Drizzle Shade, who is loyal. Let's see how StarClan's doing real quick. Lightseeker is proud of Soft Apple. Pale Kid is curious about the other clans. No one's watching over the ceremony in any clear way, anyway. Lotus Shade is listening to the newly made apprentices complaining about their training. Carnation Paw is giving somber advice to a fellow apprentice, probably one of the newer apprentices. Brookfruit's having a good day, so he'll mediate. And Once again, I try and mediate these two and it fails, so trust decreased and jealousy increased. I think I'm just gonna leave them to their own devices at this point. Soft Apple is wondering how Seabass Paw, his kid, is doing. Look at all of these apprentices. I'm probably just gonna pair, at least, I'm probably just gonna send 2 warriors and their apprentices out for a patrol that's random and see what happens for the next little bit here. This is a recipe for disaster. So it's 24 moons. It's not yet reset. That will start at 25 moons. And we're at a Thunderpath with 3 apprentices in tow. So we're going to proceed. What? We're crossing the path and a speeding monster appears out of nowhere. The cats run panicked in all directions and several of them get hit and die. Seabass Paw dies and Jumpstar lost all of her lives at once from whatever damage this monster did to her. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I don't even know. Jumpstar is surprised to find herself walking the stars of Silverpelt. I'd be very surprised too. Oh my god. Lotus Shade is already in the grief position. She is not going to be very well after losing Jumpstar. Look at their connection. Lotus Shade is not going to be okay for a very long time. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta finish out this moon though. God, I'm not okay after that. Templepaw gets a torn ear from a fox, but luckily it's not worse. So Drizzleshade takes Saffron Paw and Hawkpaw out together. Hawkpaw falls into some sand, but Saffron Paw helps to keep him calm as Drizzleshade digs him out. Okay, let's see how this resolves. So, since Lotus Shade is obviously grieving, we don't have enough healthy medicine cats. Wisteria Berry looks up to Silverpelt and finds that the grief for Pale Kit is finally beginning to lessen. Some of our more minor injuries resolve, and Pest got into the Urds and completely destroyed them. We have to start over new. Drizzlestar has become the new leader of the clan. They vow they will protect the clan even at the cost of their 9 lives. I am actually going to change the deputy. I'm sorry, Shorefleck, but we can't have a normal cat being deputy. We'll evaluate who's going to be deputy after the rest of this. In light of this, Brookfruit announces that they are expecting kits. They won't be moving into the nursery just yet. Brookfruit is now going to be caring for kits with the use of the surrogate, and we'll roll for the surrogate. Drizzleshade wails when they see the body of Jumpstar still and cold in the clearing. They set vigil that night as grief fills their heart. One day, the clan will have kittens who never knew Jumpstar in life, but Drizzleshade vows to ensure Jumpstar's memory will live on through them. As the clan sits vigil, Lotus Shade's voice cracks with grief, talking about the time they had with Jumpstar. Cats offer Lotus Shade comfort and care. They refuse all of it. Soft Apple feels as though they're living through a nightmare. Seabass Paw, their kit, can't really be dead. Soft Apple retires to their nest once the vigil comes to a close, their throat raw from crying. They curl up tightly, sniffling as they ponder over how Seabass Paw won't ever get to rise in the morning again. FrogClan mourns Seabass Paw and Jumpstar as they take their place in StarClan. Oh my god. That's so rough. Okay. Honestly, looking at our options here, we need to have a cat that has an ability. I think it's gonna be a soft apple. Who doesn't want to patrol Temple Paw? I think soft apple will do well organizing patrols, though. So Drizzle Star, let's see, she's a senior adult. She's actually very close to retiring. So we're only a couple moons away from having a different leader entirely. But Drizzle Shade leaves to speak with StarClan. They close their eyes and are immediately surrounded by their loved ones, friends, and clanmates who have passed on. Stars shine throughout their pelts and their eyes are warm as they greet the new leader. A queen introduces himself as Fluffy Fuzz. They touch their nose to Drizzle Shade's head, giving them a life for compassion. Thresh Stripe walks up to Drizzle Shade next, offering a life for certainty. They smile and say that the clan will do well under Drizzle Shade's leadership. Pale Kit bounds up to the new leader, reaching up on their hind legs to give them a life for adventure. They flick their tail and head back to make room for the next cat. Another cat approaches. Lightseeker steps forward to give Drizzle Shade a life for endurance. Drizzle Shade grits their teeth as the life rushes into them. A young cat is next to give a life. Starlight reflects off their youthful eyes. Seabass Paw stretches up to give a life for honesty. Whale Run, our StarClan guides, strides forward, an energy in their steps that wasn't present in their last moments. They give a life for humility. Willow Sky, a pretty name, an unknown warrior, gives a life for strength. The cat turns around to take their place back in StarClan, leaving room for the next cat to give a life. The next cat is not familiar. They smell of catmint and other herbs and have a noble look to them. The cat tells Drizzle Shade that their name is Sapling Heart, and the life they offer is for selflessness. Finally, Jumpstar steps forward. There is pride in her gaze as they stare into Drizzle Shade's eyes. They give a life for knowing when to fight and when to choose peace. Jumpstar hails Drizzle Shade by their new name, Drizzle Star. That's going to be awful for me to say, telling them that their old life is no more. They are granted guardianship of FrogClan and are told to use the new power wisely. Their group of starry cats yowls Drizzle Star's name in support, and Drizzle Star wakes up feeling new strength within their body and know that they are ready to lead the clan. That is now Drizzle Star. Poor Lotus Shade. Carnation Paw was sought out by another apprentice for their wisdom. Carnation Paw is grown up, but is still an apprentice, as is Temple Paw now. She's so lonesome. Brookfruit was feeling like breaking up a lovey-dovey couple, but I think we've had enough heartbreak for lovey-dovey couples, so we'll just do some quick patrols. Oh, who's... Bloompaw was given to Wisteria Berry. I think Drizzle Star now, despite her many duties, would want to take over Jumpstar's apprentices as well. So Temple Paw was finding some cat prints and was so focused on the trail that she didn't notice a blow. Temple Paw recuperates, but doesn't even have a chance to fully do so before the rogue that did is already gone. Okay, and before we leave off today's episode, Jumpstar comes to Lotus Shade directly. Jumpstar tells Lotus Shade that despite everything, now is the time that the cats need to be stronger than ever before. Jumpstar tells Lotus Shade that in a few short moons, large figures walking on their hind legs will come. These monstrous animals will leave devices that the cats have never seen before that could trap them, hurt them, or even kill them. And the cats would have no defense against this. The two legs would come in monsters that could, like what happened with Jumpstar and Seabass Paw, injure or even kill cats outright. The monsters would not stop there. They would attempt to take cats, abduct them into their way of life, brainwashing them, and they would never be seen again. The cats at this time cannot be peaceful, and they cannot present kitty pet softness, as this will only encourage the two legs even more. The two legs will come to destroy their home. And that is what Jumpstar tells Lotus Shade. And they do not have very much time to prepare, but they must do what they can. And that's where we're going to leave off today's episode. This really wasn't how I thought this was going to go. I was really hoping Jumpstar would take us through our first event. She was getting up there, but she still had all 9 lives, and that just doesn't always matter. So hopefully we will still have Drizzle Star to guide us, and we now know what kind of threat we're going to be facing, so we'll be facing that next episode. I really hope you all are enjoying the series, as heartbreaking as this was, and I will see you all next time. Until then, please stay safe yourself, and I hope you enjoy. Have a great rest of your day, and bye.